Okay, so today I'm going to explain new concept that is background jobs. So let's see this one. So when it comes to jobs, there are two types out there. One is foreground job, the other one is background job. So meaning whenever we have executed any program, suppose if I go to SE38, suppose this program is there, for example. Uh, Not this one. Let me take. So this is a program. Suppose if I want to see the output of a classical report. So what I'll do, I'll execute this program. So I'll give the input. So I will pass the input and I will execute, right? So here I'm giving the input and I'm able to see the output with my interaction, like whatever I'm giving the input, based on that, we are able to see the output. So this type of job we call it as a foreground job. So till now, whenever we want to display the data, we did foreground only. So job in the sense we are able to see the output, but foreground in the sense user interaction is needed. Like we have to give the necessary inputs, we have to click on something. So those are nothing but foreground jobs. Suppose without user interaction, if you want to execute any program, that is comes under background job. So we haven't used it till now. So from the beginning onwards, we are giving the input, we are seeing the output. So that is comes under foreground job. So to run the background job, first of all, we need to schedule the background job. Like there are so many programs out there. Suppose if I go to SE38, so many programs are there. But which program output you want to see in the background mode, you have to define it, right? So we to define those steps, we have a specific transaction code that is SM36. So SM36 is a transaction code to define a job or to schedule a job in the background. Suppose if I want to schedule a job, first of all, I need to go to SM36 transaction code and I have to pass few necessary inputs. And once it is done, if you want to know the status of the background job, we have a transaction code that is SM37. So this is used to check the status of the background job, like whether the background job is successfully created or is it cancelled due to any other reasons. So those status you can find using SM37 transaction code. So in ABAP, we have two types of jobs. One is foreground job, the other one is background job. So foreground job in the sense, user will enter the input. Based on that, we will able to see the output. So in a simple words, I can say it is like a interactive. Like there is an interaction is needed for foreground job. But background job in the sense, without manual interaction, it should done in the background. Suppose I don't give any input, like I will set a time. Suppose imagine that today evening at 6 o'clock I want to run a program. So first itself I will give the date, time. I won't give any input or something. So first itself I will schedule everything. So at 27th, 6th June, 6 o'clock, automatically the job will be run because I scheduled it. Even if I don't sit here in front of the system, it will run in the background because I scheduled it. So there, no manual interaction is required. So in the background job, no manual interaction is required. So SM36 is a transaction code to define a background job. SM37 is to check the status of the background job. So let's see this too. So this is SM36. Suppose if you want to define a background job, you have to give the job name. Like whenever we want to create a function module, we used to give the function module name. Similar way, to define a job, you can give a job name. Suppose I'll give the job name like SM2 job 1. So this is the job name. So once you give the job name, you have to choose the job class. So if I take F for help, we have three types of job classes are there: high priority, middle, low priority. So high priority in the sense, uh, suppose in some scenarios few jobs are critical, like it should be done immediately. It should not there will be a restrict time, you have to finish within the timeline itself. So at that time, whenever we run the job, we need to choose it as a high priority. So high priority is nothing but which is the first priority, which is the critical one, that we will keep it as a high priority. And middle priority in the sense it is less priority compared to the high priority. And low is nothing but compared to these two, this is the low priority one. So we need to choose this class, job class, because based on the job class, the background job will be run. Meaning, whenever we schedule the background job, first it will go to the class A. Suppose if any jobs are scheduled under A category, first those background jobs will be run. This B category, C category will be in the queue. So that is the reason, if it is a high priority one, we have to choose the class A. Until and unless it finish the job class A, it won't go to the job class B and C. So whenever we get a requirement, if it is a critical one, we have to choose the job class as A. So depends on this job class only, it will run in the background. So once job class A background jobs are background jobs are completed, then it will go to the next priority B. So in the queue, whatever the B priority jobs are there, that will be run. Once A and B finish, then it will go to the C priority. So background job will be run based on the class. First it will run the A class, then it will run the B class, later it will go to the C class. So before we schedule a job, you need to know whether it is a critical or middle or low. If it is a critical, we need to set it as A, else B or C. So once you choose it, suppose I'll choose this one. So job class is there. If you see, status is there, right? So status here, scheduled is there. So whenever we schedule a job, there are a few types of status are there. So to see the status, we have a transaction code that is SM37. As of now, I haven't saved it. I will save it after a few minutes. So before that, let's see SM37 transaction code. So in SM36, we will schedule the background job. In SM37, we will check the status. Okay, so I'll go to SM37. As of now, I haven't scheduled it, just I gave the job name. I haven't saved it. So you won't get anything here. And if you see, this is a transaction code which is used to check the status of the background job. And here, so if you see here job status, these are the job status types: scheduled, released, ready, active, finished, cancelled. So these are the job status. So once you schedule the job in SM36, let me close this. Okay. So once you schedule the job in SM36, it will go step by step. So first the job status will be under schedule, and once the scheduling is finished, it will move on to the next status, that is released. Once it is done, it will go to the next status, ready. So it's like a hierarchy. One after other status will be done. Like whenever you want to purchase any item from the online portal, first we will add to the cart. Then we will do few steps like we will choose a payment mode. We will give the address. Then our order will be confirmed. They will start what I can say, sending the product to us, right? So similar way here also, whenever we schedule a job, first it will go to this status, that is schedule. So schedule in the sense, um, whatever the necessary inputs are there to create a job or to define a job, those are comes under scheduled, like job name, job class, and after that I'll click on save it. So it will be asked like as I told you, I want to schedule a background job for a program, but how the system will know, like I want to see this specific program. Suppose I want to see a classical report output in the background job, but how the system will know? So that information we have to give it here. Here you can give the program name. Suppose if I want to give the program name, I can take F for help. Mm, Let me take F for help. Okay, so I want to schedule a background job for this program. So this is a program, and in one more session, I'll open the program. So this is the program, and this is I created for the internal table. So if I execute, you can see 3 records are there. So I did not pass any input because in this program there is no inputs are there. So static data I have given. If you see static data I have given. So if I execute directly, I can able to see the output. So this program I want to schedule in the background. So this I did in the foreground. Now I will do in the background. So I have given the program name. So variant I'm not giving. So variant in the sense, suppose if you are passing any input, okay, let's discuss this later. Let's see this first scenario. So I gave the program name, right? So after that, I will click on save. These are not necessary, just you can give the program name and click on save it. So you can see program name, program type, username. So this information you will get once you click on save. So this is like a confirmation whether you are choosing this program, or if you want to make any change, you can make the changes here. So like it's like an overview. Before you save it, you need to cross check whether you want to schedule a background job for this program, or do you want to change any changes. You can make the changes here. If everything is looks good, you can click back. Now see, this job is saved with status. What is the first status? Scheduled. So in this status, what steps I did? I gave the job name, job class, I chosen the program name. So these information will be captured in the schedule. But as of now, I haven't given when this program should be run in the background, like date or time. I haven't given. So those are comes under next status. Suppose if you see this confirmation message, so once you get this confirmation message, then you can able to see in the SM37 transaction code. If you don't get this message, you cannot able to see. So meaning you did not saved it. If you don't save, whatever you did here, that is not reflected in SM37 transaction code. So make sure whenever you are defining a job, you must save it. Otherwise, it won't be reflect. So I'll go to SM37 transaction code. Here I will give the job name. So here you can filter out, either you can check the job status by giving the job name, or else if you want to see whatever the jobs are created in this system, you can give this asterisk. Suppose for this user, so this is my user ID. Suppose this user ID, how many jobs are created? If you want to see those all the jobs, you can give like asterisk. Or else if you want to look in at a specific job, you can give the job name. Suppose I give this one. Mm, So this is my job name. And what is the status here I have seen? It is scheduled, right? So I'll go to SM37. I will click on this one. So make sure you need to check this box, schedule. So because it is already scheduled. So once it is done, you need to execute this SM37 transaction code. So you have to give the job name and you need to check the schedule. After that, you can check execute it. Now see, this is the job name, which status it is there currently scheduled. If I go to SM37 36, what is the job status? Scheduled. So in this way, we can check the status of a background job using SM37 transaction code. So right now we haven't seen any output. Only this is the first status. Like that I have to complete all the status. So all the status are nothing but we have 6 status are there. So these all ignore this one. This is cancelled. So these are the 5 status. So first status is scheduled where we are giving the various steps like job name, job class, program name. And once it is done, we will move on to the next status, that is released. So in this release status, we have to give the start condition. Start condition is nothing but date, time. Suppose in the previous example I mentioned, today at 6 o'clock I want to schedule the job. So meaning I have to give today's date and time like 6 o'clock. So this information will be captured in the status, release status. So in the release status, what we are going to do, we are giving the start conditions. So start conditions are nothing but date, time, those information. So I'll go here. So here, if you see, this is SM36. So you can identify whether I'm in SM36 transaction code or SM37 transaction code with the help of this title bar. Okay. So this is defined background job, meaning it is SM36. So once your background job is scheduled, you need to choose this option, start condition, because you have to specify at what time, what date you want to run this background job. So those information you can give with the help of this option, start condition. So if I click on that, see here, if you want to run immediately, we have to choose this immediate. Suppose based on certain date and time, if you want to run the job, we can choose this one. This I haven't worked on. I have done on this too. Okay. So suppose if I want to run immediately, I have to choose this one. Or suppose there is a date and time is given by the client or end user. So based on the date and time, I will enter it here. Suppose I will choose this one. First, we will go step by step. So I I have chosen this date and time. From here onwards, I will choose the date and time. So whenever you are giving the time, make sure you have to see the system login time, means SAP logon time. Suppose if I see this time, what is the time now? 3:55 p.m. at the bottom you can see. But this is not same in the SAP system. I'll show you that. You can check the time using system. You can go to any transaction code because system and help is a common or default in every transaction code, these menu items. So you can check in any transaction code, go to system status. Here you can see system time. What is the system time? 20:58. So based on the system time only, you have to schedule the background job. So now 20:58 45 seconds, right? I'll do 21 because it is 1 minute time, right? So 21:00 I'll do here. So I'll give the time. I'll take F for help. So 21 minutes are 00. So let me scroll up, and seconds also 00. So I have given date and time. Suppose if I want to um, schedule every time, suppose I have chosen today's date, right? Suppose today, suppose if I want to schedule after every 1 hour, every 1 hour, if I want to run the background job, I have to choose this button, periodic job. So periodic job in the sense, it is like a regular interval. Suppose every month end, if you want to see sales order details, how many sales orders are generated for a month. So those all the sales order details, if you want to run every month. So at that time, we will check this periodic job. And once you check this one, you have to define the periodic value. So periodic value in the sense, whether you want to see monthly or hourly or daily, depends on the requirement, we will choose this option, right? Suppose in the previous scenario, as I mentioned, end user want to see sales order details of every month ending. In a year, they want to note down, like they want to see how many sales orders are generated for a particular month. So from first date to last day, how many sales orders are there? So those all written in a program, but they want to check everything in the month end. So at that time, I have to choose like this monthly. So every month at this time, so I can set the time. So in that particular time, this background job will be run. Uh, so we can choose this one. As of now, I'm not choosing this one. So just I gave time. I believe this time is completed. Let me cross check. If this time is completed, we will get it is a past time. Let me show you that error also. Okay, if you see, start date is in the past, meaning this time is crossed. So that is the reason you are getting this error. If you get this error, just you can increase the time. Let me check one. Oh, it's gone. 17 has taken. 21 and I'll take 4 minutes 0 seconds. Let's see. Okay, so now I just saved the starting condition, but I haven't saved this one. See, there is no status message, so I need to save this one also. So I will click on save. Now see what is the status at the bottom, released. So if I go to SM37, I'll go back. So first schedule after which status is there, released. So before we come to release status, what inputs I have given? I gave the date, time. So when it has to run the background job, when it should be run, the particular date and time I have given. So those start condition will be captured in this release status. Okay, in the schedule status, what I did, I gave the job name, job class like high priority or middle priority, low priority. Then the program name I gave in the status. So once I gave, the next step is I have to choose a time, like at what time this program should be run in the background. So those details I have given in the start condition. So once I give the start condition details, then our status has been changed to the released. So once it is released, then it is ready. If I go to execute now, see, first it is released. So this is the job name I gave. First, which status it is there, released. Next, it is, first scheduled, then it was moved to released. So once these two are done, the next step is it is ready. So ready in the sense uh, that job is ready for the execution. Like in the foreground, once we give the input, we will click on execute button, right? So once we click on execute button, it will be display the output. So once we give the input, it is ready to display it. So similar way, once you scheduled and released, that meaning it is ready for the execution. So let's go here. I'll go to SM36. Let me check the time because I have scheduled at 4 minutes, right? So I'll see the time. So once it has reached the time, then only, okay, it has reached the time. See, 21:04 is there, 35 seconds. Okay, I gave 21:04:00 seconds. So now I'll go to SM37. I'll check the status. So instead of go back and coming into the transaction code, just you can click on refresh. Now see, the job is finished, meaning after ready, in the background it will be run these two steps. So once we give uh, the program name and everything, once the release status is done and schedule status is done, it will be automatically run and activate. So it is ready for the execution. Then active in the sense, like whatever we have given the inputs, that is ready to execute in the active mode. Like whenever we click on active in our program, that is ready for the execution, right? So similar way, active in the sense our program is active to run the background job. So whenever it is in the active mode, we cannot change anything. So if you want to change anything in the schedule mode only, you have to change it. So you cannot make any changes in the active mode. So this has done in the background these two options. So next, what is the status? Finished. Finished means our job has been executed successfully. Without any error, our job is executed. Suppose if your status is cancelled, then there are some errors in your what I can say, in your background job, or else by mistakenly you have um, cancelled it, or forcefully you have cancelled it to check something. If the status is cancelled, meaning either there is some mistake or there might be some issue in your program, or else you did um, wantedly to stop the job. So only these two possibilities are there. Suppose other than cancelled, if you see finished, meaning your background job is done successfully, but you cannot see the output here. Only you can see the status, right? You cannot see the output. Suppose if you want to see the output, you need to select the job name which is finished, that you need to select it. And before output, I'll show you this job log. Suppose if any mistakes are there, you can check in the job log. Here we have an option. If you see job log is there, right? So you need to click on this, select the job name and click on this job log. So here you can find the mm, reasons. Suppose if your job is cancelled due to some reason, that reason you can find it here. So right now it is finished successfully, so I can able to see the message like job finished, message number like message class, message number, message type is success. Suppose if it is cancelled, here I can see it will be displayed like error. So this way we can check the job log entries. Suppose if I want to see the output, there is an option called spool. Click on that, and if you see, this is the spool number. So select the spool number, and there is a button ABAP list. Click on that button. See output ABC. Here the respective description is there. If I go to program output, it will be same. See, I'm in SE38 transaction code. If I execute, what is output? The same output I can able to see in the SM37. If you see here title bar, spool request number is there. So this program I ran in the background. So when it has reached the specific time, it has run. Like I gave 27th, I have given the time 21:04 minutes. Then automatically it has started running the program in the background. So this way we will set it. Now, in this program, there is no input. So directly if I execute, this output is displayed. Suppose I'll go back. This is one of the program which we have used in the previous sessions, classical report. It is displaying customer details. So here we are displaying the data based on the country and customer number. If you see default values, I have given 1 to 400. And country, suppose country, I will give India and I will execute it. So only one record is okay. No records are there. Let me choose US. Hmm. I think I might have changed some logic here. So that is the reason I'm not getting the output. Let's take any other program which we are giving input. Mm, this is for ALV report. Let me take simple one. First itself, no need to go to the complex one. Mm, okay. What are the inputs I have passed earlier? Payroll. It is taking a lot of time. Let me see any other program. Field count 2. Okay. So this is the program ALV report which is displaying sales order details. Okay. So to execute this program, foreground what I'm doing, I'm entering the sales document number. Suppose I have chosen the sales document number 2 and from 2 to 10, I'm executing. So I gave the input based on my input. If I execute, it is displaying the output. So this is foreground job. But this, if I want to run in the background. So if I'm going to run in the background, I'm like, we cannot give the input. We cannot pass the input. If you see in the previous steps in SM36 and SM37, did you find any possibility to give input value? There is no place to give the input value. But this program need an input. Like this program need an input. Without an input, it cannot display the output. Suppose imagine that there is a mandatory parameter. If it is a mandatory parameter, without passing the input, you cannot see the output. So in that scenarios, whenever we require input, whenever we require input from the end user, then we have to save it as a variant. So variant is nothing but whenever you are passing a default value, the default value we will be save it as a variant for further testing purpose. Generally, once we create the program, if we want to give for the testing, um, we can save it. Whatever the inputs you are giving, that input numbers you can save it as a variant. So it is easy for testing purpose. So if you want to save it as a variant, just you have to give the input uh, in the selection screen. And here if you see, save as variant is there. Right now if you see, only two buttons are there in the screen. Save as variant and more is there, right? Now I have given the input. Suppose user want to see from 2 to 10 sales documents. So I gave this input and I will save it as a variant. So click on that. Give the variant name. Suppose I have given C var1 and here let me give sales information. So only these two are the necessary parameters. You have to give the variant name and description. Once you give these two information, Click on save. Now see, earlier we have only two buttons, save as variant and more. Now we can see there is one extra button is there. So once you created the variant, it will create a button with get variant. Suppose I'll go back and I will run this program. Same 2 to 10 I want to check it, sales order numbers. So instead of entering manually here, what I'll do, I'll select this variant, what I have created just now. I clicked on that. See, it is filled automatically. So the variant is for quick access. Whatever the input you want to give, that you can get quickly with the help of variant. So in this scenario, like in this input screen, suppose I have only one input parameter, but in real time we might be have 10 or more than that. At that time, each and every time if you want to test it, you need to pass each parameter value. Suppose you want to test various scenarios are there, positive scenarios, negative scenarios. So for all those scenarios, every time you have to pass the input. So it will take the time. Instead of that, if you create a variant, it will reduce our time. Just we can click on the variant, automatically it will be right in our input screen, whatever the data we have given. So if I execute, see, same output. Now I have created a variant for this program. What is the program name? This one. Now I will create a background job for this program. Let me copy this one. So what is the transaction code to define the background job?
SM36.
Very good. SM36. So I'll go to SM36. So here I will give the job name. Suppose SM2. So this is my job 2. Suppose I will choose it as a middle priority. So whenever I choose middle priority, if I start condition, suppose if I set the time at this specific time, you have to run like that. If I give the information, what will happen? First, it will go and check it whether do we have any job A category. So if there is no job A category, then it will go to the job B. In job B, suppose if any jobs are there, that is going to be run. So first the priority will go to the class A, then class B, finally class C. So in that way it will be work. Now I gave the job name, job class, like it is a middle priority. Then I will click on save. Either we can click on save or else you can click on step. Same option we will get it. If I click on save, what is a screen you can see create step 1 is there. I'm closing this one. Just see what is asking in this pop-up screen, like program values, program name, right? I will close this one. I will click on step. See, same pop-up. So either you can give the inputs from this button using this button step, or else you can click on save. Automatically this pop-up will appear. Now from here onwards, I will choose a program name. You can take F for help, or else you can give the program name directly. Suppose this is my program name. So this program has input. So I have to enter the input. That is a foreground job. I enter the input, but user want to run this as a background. So every month end they are running. Automatically they want to run every month ending. So here they don't want to run manually in the foreground mode. Foreground in the sense a user is required, like a man power is needed. User has to enter the input. Based on the input, we will get the output. But they don't want to do like that. Without manual interaction, they want to run automatically. So to do that, here I have saved a variant because for this program we have an input screen, right? So if we have an input screen, we have to pass input values. But without user interaction, they want to run in the background. So to pass the inputs, what I did, I created a variant. What is my variant name here? Z_var1. Now I'll go to this condition. See, there is an option called variant. So if a program has any input screen, you have to create a variant and you need to select the variant. Suppose if you have multiple values, like in one scenario, I'm going to test 2 to 10, but because if you see, I gave the first variant saved as a sales document number from 2 to 10. But there is one more scenario, their user want to see more numbers. At that time again, what I'll do, I will take the input, uh, whether these values are there or not, we don't know. Okay, so let me give 12. So again, they want to test this scenario also. What I'll do, I will give the input, I will save it as a variant. So here I will change it as var2 and I'll click on save it. If I go to variant, see, two variants are there. So depends on the requirement, we can choose it. Either you want to run the background job for the first input or the second input. Okay. So now I'll go to this one. Here I can choose a variant. So here there is no place to provide the input for this program. So that is the reason we created a variant in the SC38 transaction code. From here onwards, we can choose a variant for this program. So for this program, if I choose F for help C, two variants are there. C var1, var2. If I go to SC38 transaction code, see, two variants are there. So these two you can find it here. So how we are getting exactly these two? Because I gave the program name. So for this program, if any variants are there, we can find it here. If no variant is created, you cannot get it here. Suppose I want to run, or user want to run this program with the input sales document number 2 to 10. So for 2 to 10, I have created a variant name with zvar1. So I will select it one. So I have selected. So once you selected, you need to click on save it. So you can cross check whether if you want to change anything, here you can change it. Suppose if everything is fine, you can click back. So now it is not yet saved it because here there is no status message. So you have to save this one. Otherwise, whatever you gave the information, that will be vanish. So if you make any changes, you need to save it. Otherwise, this won't be captured. So I'll click on save it. Now see, there is a confirmation message. This job is saved with the status scheduled. So what is our first status? Scheduled. So once it is scheduled, then it will be going to release. So I'll check the status in SM37. See, it is not mandatory to check each and every status in SM37. Just I wanted to know what are the various status are there and how it is going to reflect in SM37. Like once you do these steps in SM36, how it is capturing in SM37, I want to show you parallelly. So that is the reason each and every status I am defining in SM36 and I'm going to SM37. But it is not mandatory to do like that. Once you do all the steps, you can check directly in SM37. Okay, so where is SM30? Wait, this one. So I'll go back. So I'll go to SM37. Now, suppose this is my user ID. If I want to see for this user ID, whatever the jobs are created, I'll click on schedule. I'll go to execute here. Now see, I scheduled these many jobs. So you can find out like this also. So 3 are in the scheduled mode and 2 are in the finished mode. So just now I have scheduled one more job, that is ZSM to job 2. Here you can find it job 2. Which status it was there in SM36? It was under schedule status, you can see it here, right? Now, I'll go here. So as of now, just I gave the program name, job class, that's it. But I haven't given any specific time, like at what time it has to be run in the background. So those information or those details I haven't passed. So to give those information, again we have to choose start condition. So click on that. So earlier I have chosen this date and time. So if I choose this one, we can able to give the date and time, right? Now, suppose if I want to test it immediately, suppose there is a scenario where you want to test this background job. At that time, we won't set any date and time. So we have to check immediately whether it is running properly or not. So in that scenarios, we will choose immediate. So immediate means no time, no date. Immediately it will be start running the job. So I will choose immediate and I will click on save. Now I have to save the entire job because there is no status message here. See, once you save it, you will get a confirmation message. If you don't get the confirmation message, meaning you haven't saved it. So I'll click on save. Now see what is the status? Released. So if I go to this, I'll click on refresh. So see here we found it is released, and if I go to the status, it is finished. Look at only ZSM to job 2. So immediately it has finished the job because we have chosen the option immediate. Immediate means it won't wait for any time. It won't wait for any specific time. This date, this time you need to finish it. Like that, it won't be there. Immediately, it will schedule it and it will go to release status. It will active and it will be finished. So that is the purpose of immediate. It won't wait for any specific time. Immediately, it will done all the status. So suppose if you want to see the job log, you need to select this one. You need to select the job, click on the job log. You can see the information. Mm, Suppose if you want to see the output, click on the spool, choose the spool number, click on the ABAP list. See, from 2 to 10 output, and here in the output I have written this information. If I go to see in this output, what we are seeing, the title, input, and the content. Same thing, you can find it here. See, title, input, and the content. So this here in SM36 and SM37, I haven't given any input. Directly, automatically, it has run this program and it has displayed the output. So the main purpose is without manual interaction. If you want to run a program or run a job in the background mode, then we can use it. So in some scenarios in the real time, they will run weekly. It depends on the business requirement. Suppose if they want to check the business status, invoices. Suppose one day how many invoices they have generated. If they want to see at the end of the day, so every day they cannot check it manually, right? So in that scenarios we can use this background jobs. Every day it will schedule, like they will give us a time, like every day we want to see we want to run the program, or we want to see the invoices how many are generated for a day. So at that time we will write the logic, and that program we will run in the background. We will schedule the date, like every day this time. So I will give the time, suppose end of the day. Imagine that 9 p.m. is their end of the day. So I will schedule the time 9 p.m. regularly. They will able to see the background job output. Suppose if they want to see monthly any report, then we will schedule the job. We will choose the periodic value as monthly. So depends on the requirement, we will choose it either monthly or hourly or weekly. So depends on the business requirement, we will choose it and we will run the background job. So the main purpose is to avoid the manual interaction. We are using this background job. It will run automatically without manual interaction. So that is the reason this background jobs are called as non-interactive jobs, because we are not interacting with this. We are not giving any input and we are not executing anything. Once we will set the background job, it will run automatically based on the specific date and time. So that is the whole idea of this background job. Any doubts?
No, Sneha.
Vamshi, can stop recording the session.